Hey there, greetings from the rainforest of Bali. I'm just doing a bit of exploring through the jungle here, and just a little ways away from the little village of Ubud where I'm staying, not that far away, but I managed to find this great little spot out of the way at this little gazebo hut thing, because it's a rainy day, so I was looking for a nice, dry, quiet spot away from the crowds, so managed to find it here. So in this video, I'm going to be expanding a little bit further on some thoughts that I expressed on the emotional body and feeling and emotion in a previous video. In this video, then I basically say that there are three basic emotions, and they're fear, anger, and sadness. One of my regular viewers commented below the video, and understandably, then she wrote back and said, "What? There's three basic emotions and they're all unpleasant?" Emotion is essentially a byproduct of the descent into separation and the forgetting or the disconnection from our basic essence of being. That our basic essence of being is of love, joy, happiness, bliss, ecstasy, desire, creativity, passion, positive, a positive state of being just for being. And that these negative emotions arise as a result of the difficult, challenging, confusing experiences that are a natural result of this third dimensional realm in particular, and of the overall experience of separation from source or all that is. And so these emotions are not part of our basic essence of being. Fear, anger, sadness is not really who we are. It is simply a response to difficult experiences in life. And that, to a great extent, the spiritual path is about coming to some resolution of these basic negative emotions. And of course, there are other negative emotions that spin off from them. You could say guilt, jealousy, shame, resentment, judgment, etc. Are certainly negative emotions as well. But if you look deeper into them, then you will see that underlying them are one or a combination of these basic emotions. Think of jealousy. Jealousy is kind of a combination of fear and anger. But basically, there's those three just basic primal emotions. Happiness, as I see it, isn't really an emotion, or love, or bliss or ecstasy. They aren't so much emotions as they are reconnecting with the basic original state of who we truly are, of our soul having come back to its original state of being before we embarked on this path away from source. And so much of the spiritual path is figuring out how to resolve these negative emotions, fear and anger and sadness and everything else that arises from those, so that we can get back to the essence of who we are. And that is really the dividing line, the fork in the road, as it were, on the spiritual quest and the various philosophies and approaches on how to deal with these negative emotions, because obviously basically all spiritual paths are acknowledging these negative emotions and suggesting how to deal with them to some extent. So the real fork in the road is, do you just focus on positivity and that which you want to become, the happiness that you seek, the love that you want to be, or do you allow these negative emotions to be a part of your path? And most spiritual paths are saying, don't focus on the negative, because you're just going to create more of it. Focus on the positive. Think positive thoughts, loving thoughts, and you will therefore create positivity and love and greater happiness. And I am definitely in the other camp of saying that you have to acknowledge, embrace, face, work with and integrate these negative emotions and thought forms into your spiritual path, ultimately for the purpose of releasing them and getting to a state that is beyond them. But you have to go through them. These negative emotions and states of being are a tunnel of darkness that you must necessarily go through in order to get to a place of greater light and clarity and peace of mind and happiness on the other side. You can deny them all you want. You can, find various ways of getting rid of them as you see it. But the important thing to understand is that anything you experience within yourself is an energetic phenomenon, an energetic response to life. And if you deny that energy, then that energy becomes frozen, and it then gets stuffed down into the subconscious, where it then rules your life without you realizing it. And that's where most of us are at, to one degree or another, is our lives being ruled by the subconscious fears and other denied emotions that are within us. And basically we're living our life trying to figure out how to finally get rid of these negative emotions for good, so that we can just feel good. And this is a losing game of seeking to deny a part of ourselves and get rid of it, that which we don't enjoy, so that we can experience that which we want to experience, which is love and happiness and bliss and these positive feelings. But that is a path of separation. That is a path of denying yourself. And you need the energy contained within those negative emotions in order to become truly whole. That the energy that is within those feelings that were denied in the past is part of who you are. Even if the emotions themselves aren't part of who you are, it is the essence of being that expressed that emotion, which you then denied, which is a part of who you are, and which has to be integrated into us. And so, ultimately, we all want to experience love and happiness and joy and fun and creativity and positive feelings. Nobody wants to experience anger and hatred and fear and resentment and being stuck in the past because of painful, difficult experiences. And as I see it, these negative experiences are not, in fact, part of who we truly are, but they are an honest, real expression of our being, of our experience. And so you have to work with them in order to ultimately release them in a real and honest way. And so my whole path and my whole approach is really about diving into these negative emotions, completely immersing yourself in them, feeling them, getting to know them, and transmuting them in the process through the power of the light of your own consciousness, changing and transforming these negative emotions and states of being through focusing on them, not to hold them in place, but to dissolve that energy and get to the part of yourself that is sort of locked away in these negative emotions.